Hello, the Pioneer viewers. How are you? I hope you're in a good health and having a good day. As the Pioneer team, we continue to bring you the latest updates on the Russia-Ukraine war. In a moment, I will share with you the details of an extraordinary operation taking place on the front line. There has been a lot of activities in Eastern Europe recently, and the strong resistance of the Ukrainian armed forces against the Russian occupation continues. At the same time, important Russian targets behind the front line continue to be hit. So recently, developments in the Crimean Peninsula, which is one of the most critical stages of the Russian occupation, shows that the Russian army's dominance in the region has started to weaken. Ukraine's determined resistance is part of its struggle against the Russian occupation that began in 2014. And the strategic importance of the Crimean Peninsula is becoming more evident with each passing day. Recent developments in Russia indicate that military activity in the region will increase further. Vladimir Putin, the leader of the Russian Federation, is pursuing new strategic plans. However, the Ukrainian armed forces are making great efforts to thwart these plans, and a recent large-scale invasion of the Crimean Peninsula confirms this. So the occupation of Ukraine is not a recent process. Since 2014, the Russian armed forces have been occupying the Crimean Peninsula and had planned this process for a long time. The strategic importance of Crimea is becoming more evident with each passing day. Recent developments in Russia indicate that the military activity in the region will increase further. Vladimir Putin, the leader of the Russian Federation, is planning something new. However, the Ukrainian armed forces are working hard to thwart Russia's plans. The recent major offensive of the Crimean Peninsula is an important example of these efforts. So, what do we know about the latest offensives of the Ukrainian armed forces? Let's take a closer look together. You know that before moving on to our report, I should make a small reminder. And you know that as the Pioneer team, we are committed to bring you the latest developments in Russia-Ukraine war. So don't forget to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so that you don't miss our daily reports and explanations. You know that I also read all of your comments, so please continue to share your ideas about our content in the comments. And let's start if you're ready, the Pioneer reports. In the middle of the Eastern Europe, one of the biggest wars of the century is in full swing, and the Ukrainian armed forces are writing an epic story of heroism in front of the eyes of the whole world while trying to end the Russian occupation. It is well known that every attack on the Crimean Peninsula is critical to the attrition of the Russian army. The day when Ukrainian flags fly in Crimea will mean the shaking of Russia's power, both in the region and around the world. So in recent days, an incredible attack took place inside the borders of the Russian Federation. We have already reported on the developments of this attack, but it does not end here, because this attack could be a false flag operation, and we will also examine this possibility. But right now, our main concern is the Crimean Peninsula. Russia is trying to justify its occupation of Ukraine by using this attack on its territory as an excuse. Where the accent came from. Ukraine is trying to frustrate Russia's efforts, and in recent attacks on the Crimean Peninsula demonstrate this fact. The past few days, the Ukrainian armed forces launched an attack from their positions, causing great panic and fear in the Crimean Peninsula. The Storm Shadow missiles launched by the Ukrainian armed forces left a bright trail in the sky. And when these missiles, fired with great noise from the launch pads, were seen in the skies over Crimea, the air defense systems of the Russian armed forces were immediately activated. Ukraine's continued effective use of Storm Shadow missiles has once again been demonstrated. According to recent reports, the Ukrainian armed forces carried out a comprehensive attack with these missiles and targeting the Crimean Peninsula. The focus of the attack was on several Russian military bases stationed in the Crimean Peninsula. Large ammunition depots are reportedly located around these bases, and a large number of Russian soldiers were present at the time of the attack. So far, there are no confirmed official reports on this remarkable attack. However, preliminary information from the local sources suggests that there is an air of panic on the Crimean Peninsula, as it should be. In particular, serious chaos was reported in the area where the Russian military bases are located. Some sources claim that a large number of Russian soldiers attempted to desert. However, it should be noted that this information has not yet been confirmed and should be evaluated with caution. So this attack on the Crimean Peninsula is characterized as most powerful since the beginning of the war. Initial statements from the Russian sources suggest that the missiles were successfully intercepted. However, many videos and photos spread on social media showed a large number of missiles hit the Crimean Peninsula. In the coming days, with the emergence of the more visual material and clearer information, the true scale and impact of this attack will become clearer. If it's a word, clearer. I've never heard of it. On the other hand, unofficial Russian sources also make various statements on this issue. Recently, the flow of information from the unofficial Russian sources has intensified considerably. These sources often harshly characterize the Russian administration and the military leadership. Among the main reasons for these criticisms is deepening of the Russian security crises. And with the outbreak of the war, it became clear that the Russian Federation was not as safe as it thought to be. So unofficial Russian sources made the following statements about the recent attacks on the Crimean Peninsula. Immediately after the attack, many videos and photos began to be shared on the various social media platforms. How do you intend to explain these images to us and to the Russian people? We have become the butt of everyone's jokes. Contrary to the Russia's official statements, these images show that serious damage has been done in Crimea. Unofficial sources especially point out and characterize the inadequacy of Russia's air defense systems. Moreover, these sources state that the attack clearly reveals weaknesses in Russia's defense strategy. Whoever caused the Russian army to suffer so many casualties will have to pay a heavy price. Everyone responsible will pay a heavy price. No one will escape paying this price. Both the war leadership and the political leadership. This time they will not escape accountability, and the will of the Russian people will hold them to account. So what do you think? What are the possible effects on this attack on the Crimean Peninsula on Russia's military morale and motivation can be? And what do you think the long-term consequences of the attempted desertion of the Russian troops might be? What impact might Ukraine's escalation of pressure on the Russian military presence in Crimea through such attacks have on the civilian population in the region? And how do you think this will shape the social and economic life in Crimea? You know that I also read all of your comments, so please put your comments on this video.